Hello, everybody. This is normally where you would see Charts with Dan, and I will be back with that show tomorrow. But I wanted to take a few minutes today to talk about some changes that have happened and have been going on over the last few months. You may notice that I'm in a new space. I'm kind of trying to replicate my old studio, but it's very much a work in progress. I'm going to be working on it in the next several days. It may sound a little bit empty. The reason I'm in a new space is because of, like I said, some major changes that have been going on in my life. If you watch the channel, if you watched my days back at Screen Junkies, then I'm sure you heard me talk about Mara. We were together for over 8 years. Our time together went across some of the highest highs and lowest lows for both of us, and we were there for each other for all of them. But we have unfortunately split up. And I know that that will probably come as a surprise to most of you, especially people that have been watching for a long time. But it's, for me, important to look at not just how things ended, but at the totality of our time together. The time that we spent together was important time for both of us, and this has been really hard. I mean, anytime you go through something like this, or I think anytime most people go through something like this, especially the end of a long-term relationship, the end of a marriage, it is hard, it is complicated, and it's sad. And this has been all three of those things for both of us. And so the first thing that I would ask is to please respect that fact. The reason I'm making a video is because it is obvious at this point that there have been some changes. And I think that not addressing it would almost draw more attention than just telling you what's been going on. And, you know, the me that you see on this channel, and I think this goes for just about everybody on YouTube, social media, etc. The me that you see is me, but you don't see everything. There's always stuff going on off channel, behind this camera, that nobody knows about. That's life. That's just how things are. This is not a new situation. This is something that we both have been working through and working out for the past several months, because there's so much to work through on a practical level, on a personal level. And I needed to work through all of those things with her and for myself before I wanted to say anything publicly. And it wasn't hiding. I wasn't hiding this out of some sort of shame or embarrassment. It really just was step by step trying to figure out how to do what needed to be done. And other than a very small group of friends and family, nobody really has known what's been happening. And it's just because everybody has a different process and a different way of working through things. And this was the way that we did it. A big part of it for me, myself, is that before this process really began, this channel, and I love doing it, and I love being on YouTube and running my own channel, but this channel kind of felt like a crazy whirlwind. And everything off the channel felt a little more stable. You know, it's like, this is the YouTube world and this is, you know, the real world. For the past several months, it kind of flipped on its head, where it felt like this was stability and everything was changing outside of this. And there was some comfort for me to have a place where, while we were working all of this out, I could just worry about how big Deadpool opened, or what did I think about this movie or that movie. It just felt like the one place where I could only have to focus on one thing. And I needed that. I'm privileged to have the job that I have, where if I'm having a not great day or I'm overwhelmed, then I'm in control to some degree of my own workflow. And I don't take that for granted. And I know that there are people that go through these things that don't have that privilege. But you may have noticed that, for the past several months, maybe I'm not doing as much, or that I'm a little unfocused, a little bit more mistake prone than usual. I've never been perfect. I've seen the comments and people that, point out the mistakes, because that's just how it is. If you make a mistake, people are going to comment on it. I've seen the comments about, you look tired, or you look sick, or sound sick. And, there's a reason for that. This is hard. This is hard for anybody that has to go through it. There's so many people out there that understand what it's like to go through a situation like this. And I think that it's a reminder that you don't always know everything that's going on with somebody if you watch them on YouTube or on social media. And, if they're a little off, maybe consider that. It's been a reminder for me, honestly, because I don't always give people that sort of leeway or consideration. And it's been a lesson that I've learned. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I've been on my A game, because I haven't. And the term that I keep coming back to in my head, of course, as always, when I'm thinking about how to even sort of describe what these last few months have been like, I go back to Star Trek, as I often do. It's a term that was used in the 2009 movie, which is emotionally compromised. Again, this has been so difficult for both of us. And that's just how it is. I mean, it's really sad and hard. And I know that it would have been so much harder for me to get through this if I hadn't sought out the help of a mental health professional. I have a therapist that I talk to every week, and it's been so vital. I mean, having that support system of friends and family is great, but I also wanted to kind of use this as an opportunity to just reinforce that there is no shame, there should be no shame in seeking out mental health treatment. There's nothing wrong with it. There shouldn't be a stigma on it. It is not a sign of weakness. I think it is a sign of strength, because it's you saying and acknowledging that you need help to get through something. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it was invaluable and continues to be invaluable for my personal journey through this. If nothing else comes out of this video, I would so encourage people. I think that everybody should have access to mental health treatment if they want it and if they need it. And it's awful that people don't. But if you do have access to it, I can't say enough how helpful it is, and has been, quite frankly, for me, not just in this situation, but in other situations in my life. And I will continue to advocate for it, because it shouldn't be looked down on in any way or stigmatized. It is vital. As for what's next, apart from this video here on the channel, nothing changes. I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to talk about box office and Deadpool and Alien and all the stuff that we would normally talk about. I'm going to do all the things that I've been doing, reviews and breaking news and stuff like that. I'm looking at ramping up certain things like live streams. I would just ask for your patience as I make this physical transition, as I build out the studio and get kind of accustomed to this new space and probably try a couple things that don't work. And then I would also just thank you in advance for respecting my privacy and respecting Mara's privacy during a time that has been and continues to be very difficult for both of us. And, this is like starting over for me in a lot of ways. The one constant that I remain grateful for is that you choose to spend, as I say on this channel all the time, part of your day watching me. And so I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll talk about box office, and then we will continue forward. So thanks for your time, and I'll see you soon.